Now we are going to see from 8 to 16 shlokas what is Karma Yoga. What is Karma and what is Karma Yoga? There is a big spectrum. So we will see what is Karma, and then where we can apply Karma Yoga in that spectrum. So the shloka, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam Karmajyayo Hya Karmanaha Sharira Yatra Pichate Na Prasidhyeda Karmanaha. So here what he wants to say is, we will just go through some explanation before we go to see the meaning of the shloka. So what did Krishna say? He said that not doing work is not an action. Then next option is what? Doing karma is the next option. But it is said in our scriptures, karmana badhyate jantuhu, that karma will bind you. So karma is binding. So if karma is binding, then what do? We can't be without not acting. We have to do our karma. So Krishna proposed the Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is this way of attitude to the karma that you do. But what is all the types of karma? There are 4 types of karmas that has been told to us. So in all these 4 headings, we will say doing, not doing, and the extent to which we can do, and the attitude we have towards that. So these are the 3 things we will see. One is the Nishiddha Karma. Nishiddha Karma are these prohibited acts. So Nishiddha Karma must never be done. You cannot say, can I do it moderately, like stealing, drinking, all this is prohibited. It should not be done. So if you say that, can I do in moderation? No, it is prohibited. And what is can I have a good attitude towards it? Can I do like Karma Yoga? You cannot do like Karma Yoga. It is prohibited. It cannot be done. That's all. The chapter is closed with that. So first is Nishidha Karma, or prohibited action, that we should never do, and there is no way to do it in the Karma Yoga state. The second thing is called Prayaschitta Karma. Prayaschitta Karma is basically antidote to your previous prarabdha, like previous bad prarabdha basically. Nobody will take Prayaschitta for good prarabdha. So if you have done some bad prarabdha and you can see its effects currently, then in the scriptures it is prescribed. You take the horoscope and then it will say, okay, you can do this Prayaschitta for it. It is allowed, but in moderation only and in extreme circumstances. So if every day for something or the other, you should not go taking the horoscope. It is said that you can do it in moderation. If you are extremely ill, if you have like they say that some dosha is there which will lead to your life, something like that, then you can do the Prayaschitta Karma, but not otherwise. So it is not Karma Yoga. Doing Prayaschitta Karma is not Karma Yoga. So people think, oh, if I do Prayaschitta Karma, no, because you are expecting a result out of it. Whenever you accept a result, it is disqualified. So you can do, but it's not bad to do, but they say limit it. And then the third thing is the Kamya Karmas. Kamya Karmas we saw in the second chapter also. These are acts, like certain, like harmless. Maybe you feel like eating some sweets. Some things are allowed, some harmless acts which doesn't cause harm to anybody. Those acts we are allowed to do with the clause that you will have to associate it with God. If you eat for yourself, if you do these Kamya Karmas just to please yourself, then it is not qualified as Karma Yoga. You have to associate it with God. Anything, any celebration, any food you make in the house, if you associate it, if you say that I'm offering this to God, I'm doing for the sake of God, then I'm going to eat the remains of that, then it is Karma Yoga. It can be qualified. And so that's where the spectrum it begins. And then the last is the Nitya or the Naimittika Karma. Nitya karmas are things that we have to do daily. These are our duties. We know our own duties. Our intelligence will tell us. You have children, you have to take care of the children. You have a family, you have to take care. Whatever we ourselves know those duties. So those duties are called the Nitya Karmas that must be performed. And we will also see some more additional Nitya Karmas, like how the scriptures say what we must do for others and everything we are going to see. So this Nitya Karma, now we are talking about the daily duties that has to be performed. And also we talk about Naimittika Karmas. Naimittika Karmas means what? There is an obligation, like there is a death. Then you have to go and you have to do whatever you have to do for that situation. There is a birth in the family. You have to participate. These are all Naimittika Karma. So with this we have to do. As householders, we have to do. So these two things, but what there, this is where the attitudes come. For Kamya Karma also attitude comes. You do with the attitude of associating it with God, then that the attitude comes there. What attitude will have for Nitya Karma, Naimittika Karma, we already saw. First of all, the karma itself, the Nitya Karma, we should not have any, say, preferences. Whatever comes to me, daily duties, I have to do it. For example, you will get up in the morning. When you have to go to office, you get up in the morning without thinking. On a weekday, you will not get up because there is a choice. So that kind of preference you should not have, but you should do everything equal. So that is one thing we saw. Then you relinquish the results of those Nitya and the Naimittika karmas. You do something, the Nitya karma, that result I am not God. You take the result, or you give me whatever result you want. That kind of attitude. Then we also saw that for these Nitya karmas, some rights will come. Because when you do something for your child, you have the right over the child. That also you must relinquish so that you do not have expectations. That we must do. So these are the attitudes that we must have. So starting from Kamya Karma, we can practice Karma Yoga. Nishita Karma we must not do. Prayaschitta Karma is not technically Karma Yoga, we must limit it. That's it. So this is what has been told for householders. And we will see some more also what needs to be done. So this shloka, what he is telling is Niyatam Kuru. Niyatam means this prescribed duties. Niyatam, Nitya Karma, all these are referring to the same thing. Niyatam Kuru, Karmatvam. Niyatam is a prescribed, Kuru is do, Karma is the duties, Tvam. You do your prescribed duties. Karmajyayo hya karmanaha. Karmajyayaha hi akarmanaha. He's talking about akarmanaha. So, what is this better than not doing work? Akarmanaha. So, this is better than not doing work. Because why he says Sharira Yatra Pichate. Sharira Yatra, Sharira the body, Yatra is the maintenance. Api even cha also te. Your body also you cannot maintain. Na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Akarmanaha is not doing the work. Prasiddhyet means it is not possible. So what he wants to say, not doing the work is not an option. Niyatam Kuru, do your duty. The Nitya Karma and all those karmas, you do it properly because your maintenance of the body even, it needs work. If you say, I will not do any work, at least you have to eat and maintain your body. That much work you have to do. The general translation is, performed your prescribed duty. For doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. So here in this shloka, we just have to remember the 4 types of action and their attitude. So that was the Nishiddha Karma, Prayaschitta Karma, Kamya Karma and Nitya Naimittika Karma, which can be done as the Nishkamya Karma without any Kamya or any desire. Yajñarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. We are going to see 4 qualities when doing karma, what we should have. First, in this, they talk about yajna. So each shloka yajna will have different interpretations. So in this shloka, yajñartat is taking the interpretation of Ishvara or the creator or the God. So because it has been said, yajño vai Vishnuhu. So yajna is The sacrifice is indeed Lord Vishnu himself. So they take the meaning as Vishnu here. Yajnartat, do the duty for the sake of Ishvara or Vishnu only. Okay, so 4 qualities. First we will see and then we will see the meanings. So Yajnartat, one, so that is the first word. Yajnartat means for the sake of Ishvara, for the sake of God. That is one thing we have to do. Why we have to do this? The second word we have to remember is Anyatra karma bandhanaha. Anyatra meaning otherwise, karma bandhanaha, it is bondage. It is binding. If you do not do for the sake of God, then this karma becomes binding. That is the second point. Third point is Mukta Sangaha. Mukta Sangaha means you are free from attachment because you do it for the sake of God. And fourth is Samachara. He's saying, okay, do it for the sake of God, but you have to do it properly. Samachara means you have to do it perfectly. You have to do it properly. So here, Yajnartat, we saw that do this for the sake of Ishvara or God only. Karmanaha, then work. Then Anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Anyatra, otherwise, lokaha, world, I am, in this world, karma bandhanaha, it is bondage. Tadartam karma kaunteya. Tat means of him, of God, artham, for his sake only. Karma kaunteya, do the work, O Arjuna, do it only for the sake of God. Then what happens? Mukta sangaha, you are liberated from this association. Samachara, when you do it perfectly. When you do the things perfectly for the sake of God, then you are liberated from this bondage of karma. So the general translation is, work done as a sacrifice for Ishvara has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O Arjuna, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will remain free from bondage. Saha yajñāః prajā sriṣṭvā purovacha prajāpatihi anena prasavishyadhvam yeshavostishta kamadhuk. Here again we are talking about the yajna. There are 2 interpretations for this. That is, one meaning is, this man was created with so much choices. He has 3 types of shaktis. That is, he's got the Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. So this Ichcha Shakti is this desire, the Jnana Shakti is his knowledge, and this Kriya Shakti is his effort that he can exert. So with this Shaktis, this man has been created. Animals, there is no choice. Suppose there is a plate of food. If there are 2 dogs, they will come and fight over it. They don't have any choice other than that. But this man can use his intelligence and he can share it with the other person. He can also fight, he can also share. So this kind of intelligence is being given to man. And the first interpretation is this yajna word, you substitute it with the Jnana Shakti. And you take it as, the meaning will become, man was given with this choice of knowledge. So because of this, he can prosper. That is one meaning for the shloka. But the general way in which how this shloka will be interpreted is, yajna, they are the 5 types of yajnas, Pancha Maha Yajnas, that it has been prescribed in our scriptures, and we definitely have to follow it as a part of our Nitya Karmas. Other than our normal duties of taking care of our family and like going and working and everything, this Pancha Maha Yajnas have to be done every day in our lives. It is a part of this Nitya Karma. So what are these 5 Pancha Maha Yajnas? What is this 5 sacrifices that we have to do? The sloka, we will go to the meaning, but what I want to say is, Brahma, he created this people, he created mankind along with all these yajnas, and he said, you will prosper with this. So he said, with these yajnas, you will all prosper in your life. So that is why we want to know what the 5 yajnas are. So 5 yajnas. First is this Deva Yajna. Deva Yajna meaning doing puja of Ishvara. We have to do daily puja of Ishvara. Think about God daily. Even 5 minutes in the morning, at least anything you do not know to say, some Ramanama, some name of God, we should do when we get up immediately and in the night also, and one time in the evening. So at least 3 times we should do, we should remember God. And what will that give? It will give us the ability to withstand the failures. It will give us the purity of mind leading to moksha. And Ishvara is also being told as the karma phaladata. That means whatever karma we are doing, he is the one who will give the karma phala. So he is also the karma phaladata. So on all these accounts, we have to do the aradhana of Ishvara. And this is one of the part of the Nitya karmas. Second is the Pitru Yajna. Pitru Yajna means we have to do the proper ceremonies for our Pitrus. And generally there is, people will ask, I do not see anything, why should I do all these things? But what has been told in our scriptures is that the yajna is basically a sacrifice. So every time you do a ceremony, there will be some kind of a charity involved in it. You will have to, like, you will give something as an offering. So because of that, what happens is, when you give this punyam, you are giving to your ancestor, whoever you are thinking of your ancestors, and you say, may this go to them. So maybe if they are in a very bad shape, they don't have food, that punyam that you are transferring to them will go to them in the form of food. It has been said that they will get it in any form. If they are a small child, they will get it in the form of a toy. Like that, it has been said. It will go to them. If they say that I don't want it, there is a collective Pitruloka where whoever wants this punya will go to them. It can be transferred to them. So in return, what are you getting? The blessings. Say, you be prosperous, you be good, let your children be. So all the blessings will be bestowed. So that is why this Pitru ceremony is very, very important. As been told in our scriptures, it cannot be missed. And the other thing is remembering our ancestors. See, if they have done something good, you remember they have done these good things. This is how they led their lives. Remembering them has been said as one of those Pitra Yajnas. Suppose they have done some bad things also, the way to see it is, okay, we will avoid those mistakes. And the third thing that has been told is the Rishi Yajna. Rishi Yajna meaning you have to pay tribute to the Rishis. So if you are reading some scripture, at least 5 minutes it's been said, you should pay tribute to the Rishis, because that is a part of this Nitya Karma also. Like you are reading Vishnu Sahasranama, you're reading Bhagavad Gita, all this is paying tribute to the Rishis. So that is one of the things. And also how this will help you. Suppose you don't have friends, you are not able to have satsang. Suppose you are in a place, the books, all these books from the rishis, they will help you to be in this path. So that is why we have to pay tribute to them. And the fourth is being told as this Manushya Yajna. We have to serve others, like the guests who come to our house, and especially those who are below us. We should treat them really with kindness. Service to the humanity that we have to do. That is also we have to do every day. We have to be of some service to everybody. And the fifth thing that is being told is the Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means all the living creatures. We have to be compassionate towards all the living creatures. Like every day we will feed the crows, we will feed the cows. Like the rangoli, the white powder we used to make those patterns, it used to be made of rice flour. So ants used to eat it. So this was the kind of thought process behind that all the creatures should be happy and we have to do something for these creatures. So this is also every day you must do. Take care of others and the animals and other living beings. So this was going to these 5 yajnas. How is it going to help? It is going to help not in this transactional world also. If you want success, you have to do all these 5 yajnas. And if you want success in spiritual world also, you have to do these 5 yajnas as a part of karma yoga, because this is going to give purity. That is the meaning of the yajna in this shloka. Shloka meaning we will see now. Saha yajna praja srishtva. Saha yajna. So saha meaning along with, yajna, all these sacrifices. Prajaha srishtva. Prajaha meaning the mankind was created. Srishtva is created. Pura, that means in the beginning. Uvacha said, who created? Brahma created. Prajapati. He created it. He created all the creatures and the mankind. So what did he say? Uvacha, he said something. So he said, Anena prasavishyadva. He said, by the sacrifice, Anena means by the sacrifice, prasavishyadvam, meaning you will be more and more prosperous. You will elevate yourself. This is what he said. And yeshaha vaha ashtu ishta kama dukha. That is, let it be astu ishta, all the desired things, kama dukha, be bestowed on you. So if you do all these yajnas, all the good things will be bestowed on you. That is what Brahma said after he created all the beings. So kama dukha means the equated to kamadenu. That is, it will bestow everything. So this yajna is only the most important thing for us to follow. We are running behind so many things thinking I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. But we have never thought about us doing the sacrifices for all these 5 kinds of people. When we have these 5 categories that as they have laid out, it's very easy. Every day we can think, what did I do for God today? What did I do for other creatures? How did I serve other people? Like that, you can help you to check yourself also. So it is very easy to follow. So the general translation is, in the beginning of creation, Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men along with the sacrifices and blessed them by saying, be happy by this yajna sacrifice because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for happy living as well as for achieving liberation. So for both the parts, this is what we have to do. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyatha. So here they want to say in this shloka how the cycle of life is there and what we must do to prosper or elevate ourselves. We will just see a little bit explanation. It has been said, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. That means, what does it mean? The one who protects the Dharma will be protected by Dharma. Like a story in Mahabharata, they will quote is Karna. He had to come out of his chariot to fix his chariot. At that time, he was unarmed. And at that time, Krishna said to Arjuna, now you release the arrows. So Karna said, this is adharma. I am unarmed. You cannot shoot me. Like you cannot attack me with arrows. At that time, Karna was using this dharma to protect himself. He never thought about protecting the dharma when he killed Abhimanyu or when he sided with Duryodhana. So when he quoted this dharma was when he wanted to be protected. But Krishna wanted to say that no, that's not how it works. If you have protected dharma, dharma will protect you. So the similar way, what this shloka wants to tell is, in our culture and in our tradition, we think of everything as the devatas, like the nature as the devata. We have the names and we will worship everything as a devata, just meaning that worthy of worship, and we have a form for it. So the nature is devata. So the devata here used, the word used is the demigods. They want to say the nature, basically. That is the meaning here. And they want to talk about this deep ecology concept that we had long time back. Our whole thing was based on protecting the environment, protecting the ecology and all that. So this is what now they are doing again with the green revolution and everything. So this deep ecology, what it talks about is human being is only one of the components. You are not the master, or you don't have right over everything, anything at all. You are one component. When you give to other things, nature, the nature will give you back to you. This is the cycle. But when man assumes that he is all powerful, I can destroy everything, everything gets destroyed. This is the same thing that they want to say here, is when you give to nature, the nature will give you. We used to treat all this nature with reverence. That was our culture. But now we stop paying attention to it. So the nature is not giving anything back to us. So that is the meaning here. What they have said is Devan. Devan are these demigods. Demigods, or we can refer it to as nature. Bhavayata Anena. Bhavayata means having been pleased. Anena, by this sacrifice that you do for them. Te, those devaha, demigods, bhavayantu vaha. Bhavayantu means they will please you. If they are pleased, see, suppose somebody pleases you, what is your normal reaction? You will please them. That is a normal cycle. So they will be pleased. If they are pleased, then they will also please you. Bhavayantu vaha, you. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Parasparam, mutually bhavayantaha. You will please one another. Shreyaha param avapsyatha. Shreyaha, that is, you will, very good, you will get param, the supreme good, avapsyatha, you will get. The demigods being pleased by your sacrifices will also please you. This is the cycle. And thus by cooperation between you and these demigods or this nature, prosperity will come to you. If you take care of others, others will take care of you. This is the cycle of creation. That's what Krishna wants to say. So we talked about three types of things, right? The prohibited acts we must never do. And the next option for us was the prashita karma, that we must do in moderation. And we can do this kamya karma. Now here we are talking about this kamya karma. It is not possible to remove kamya karma at this stage because we are all householders and we are all just getting into the karma yoga. So they are not saying you must remove all the kamya karmas. Two things actually we saw already one thing. Two things are being said. First is this prasada buddhi that we saw already, that we must do this kamya karma with the prasada buddhi. The second thing that for kamya karma is sharing. You have to share. If there is something good, you share with others, then you are doing it in the karma yoga way. Then that means it is not binding you because you are sharing with everybody. That you should not take anything free. Because, whenever we buy something free, we ourselves know that either they have increased the price, then they have said one is free, it will be like that. Or the other thing is, if it is very old, they will say, okay, buy one, get one free, like one yogurt you get free because it's very old, it's coming to the expiry. So only those things will be free. What is the meaning is that you should actually run away from free things. We have to always think about adrishta palan only when we are going this way. Drishta palan, it is good. You get two things, like you get two yogurts. What tomorrow it will spoil. It is of no use. So this adrishta palan is what, whenever you have to do something with your mind, body, or monetarily, you have to give something back. This is the cycle. It is not, oh, today I got something. It looks very nice. Okay, I got it free. But that is not, don't accept anything free. You do something in return. Maybe if somebody gives you a big gift, you may not be able to afford it. But do something in return for them. Just at least some kind words or whatever you can. So accepting free is not good. That is what, because the cycle is broken. When you start accepting free, what he is trying to say is to maintain the cycle, giving and taking should always be there. If one person wants always free, then who is going to give all the time? If you give, then somebody else will give. Like that it will continue. Otherwise, when we are very selfish, this cycle is being broken. And then that is why there is this poverty. If you want everybody to be prosperous, we must keep putting into the system. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha. Ishtan, see, whatever is desired, Ishtan, Bhogam, whatever the necessities of life you want, he certainly, Vaha, to you, Devaha, Devas will give you, Dasyante will award you, Yajna Bhavitaha, because being satisfied by the performance of the sacrifices. If you are doing some sacrifice for the Devas, they are satisfied. If you are doing some sacrifice for other human beings, they are satisfied. But what happens if you are not doing it as a sacrifice for anybody? Like the 5 people we talked about, if you are not doing in the bhava of sacrifice, taihi dattam. So taihi is by them, dattam, things given. Apradaya. Apradaya is without offering to them. So if you are just taking without offering to anybody or to the devas, ebhyaha, to these gods, Yaha, that person, bhunkte, he enjoys for himself. Stena saha, he's very using a very harsh word. We are all thinking that stealing is physically going, and I'm very prim and proper, I don't steal from others. This selfish attitude is only called stena as the thief. I want for myself. Thinking like that, you are really a thief. You are not, don't have to go and rob a bank. If you are selfish, you are a thief. Tena, thief, eva, certainly saha. He certainly is saying. Krishna is telling no doubt also about it. So if you are not going to offer to the gods, if you are not going to share with others, you are only a thief. You may think that I have a lot of things with me, but this is all in the seeing you can see. Adrishta palan 0, bank balance becomes 0. The general translation is charge of the various necessities of life. The demigods, being satisfied by the performance of the yajna, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them in return is certainly a thief. So the takeaway is like that you should do as a yajna. You should do everything as a sacrifice. And you should share freely so that the cycle always continues. Somebody else will give you. You give to somebody, that person doesn't give back. We are always thinking, oh, this person is not giving me back. No, the cycle will come from somewhere else. Somebody else will come and give you something. So we don't have to think about who is giving back. We just have to think about giving to them. And we have to trust in this process that, okay, there is a cycle like this. Oh, if I give, it's going to come in some other form. Okay, at least like that, we can start to share everything with people.